Hello, school family. Happy Sunday. Hope you are enjoying this gorgeous weekend and you've had some time to relax and recharge before another week of virtual and in-person learning. Parents, I'm curious to know, now that students are back, my friends that come in person 4 days a week, how's it going being able to have some freedom back during the day and not being stuck on the computer? I hope well. Our students at school are doing such a fabulous job, and huge shout out to our virtual learners who are continuing to thrive and do an excellent job online, and a shout out to my families that have their virtual learners still, that you are still sticking it out tough, helping as much as you can and supporting their learning. I really appreciate it more than I could ever say. So before we jump into our work of the week, this week coming is what I would consider a normal week with no changes. Monday and Tuesday are regular days of instruction at school and virtually. Wednesday will be our normal asynchronous day, and we will have class meeting at 9 a.m. Last week was the only week that 8:30 start time for me with my meetings was happening. So this week we will have our class meeting normal at 9 o'clock on Wednesday, and then I will go into my meetings and things after that. So we'll continue to not have those one-on-one sessions as I complete my professional development. And then Thursday and Friday are normal learning days as well for my in-person and my virtual students. Okay, so let's jump into our work of the week. This week in shared reading, we are reading a story. It's called All Kinds of Families. And what's really cool about this book is it's based around categories. So it is a fictional text, but it's going to show us different types of categories, really anything you could think of, and how all of those different things are a part of a family. So if I was thinking about different types of umbrellas. There's a lot of random things in this story, how all of those things, there is something that is the same about them. So we're going to talk some about sorting. There's this category game that I used to play with my old students where I list off a couple things and they've got to tell me what the category is. It also lends itself nicely to main topic and key details, which we are going to explore with this week, because essentially that's like building a category or a type of family. So if the main topic was farm animals, a pig, a cow, a chicken. So I would name those things and students would tell me what that main topic is. Same kind of concept with category. So we'll play that some this week. So on Monday, we're going to read All Kinds of Families, and it's asking and answering questions. At first, when you're looking at this book and our students may be curious or a little confused, it seems like it kind of jumps all over the place to different topics. Really, the book lends itself to talking truly what the title says, all different types of families. So not families necessarily like us, families of different items. Okay, so that's Monday. Tuesday, it's the same book again, All Kinds of Families, and we're going to talk about the relationship between the illustrations and the text. And then that will lend itself during writing for them to tell me and recall part of what the text says, and then they will be responsible for drawing the illustration. My students at school are starting now to explore more with writing because we have that time for them to sit down with real paper and pencil. For my families at home, if you prefer that your student is not writing digitally on the Jamboard, because it's very, very tricky, even for me as an adult sometimes, to navigate it and write the same way, I am totally okay with them grabbing a piece of paper or composition notebook and writing that way and just showing it to me. I have less virtual students than I do students in person, so if we prefer to do it that way, that's totally fine. Okay, Wednesday, no shared reading. Thursday, we're going to read a book, and it's going to be main topic and key details. It's those interactive read aloud cards called The Perfect Color. So we'll continue to kind of talk about categories with that. And then on Friday, we're going to read a text called Good for You. And remember, it's that book that's hidden in the back of the big book, and that's going to be looking for and identifying key details in the illustrations. So all of the texts we have this week are very rich in illustrations, which is awesome for our students because at this stage in their learning, that's how they are beginning to understand and comprehend what we're reading. Okay, so that is for shared reading. For phonics this week. Last week we worked on phoneme deletion. So removing a letter, what does the word say now? If the word was snack and I took away the n, the word becomes sack. Very tricky, but we did a really nice job with it. So this week we're going to do phoneme deletion, but we're also going to do substitution. So if the word was tap and I did app and I got rid of the a and I replaced it with an I, what's that new word? Ip, and seeing if students can manipulate out those sounds and put a new sound in. So that's going to be a big focus this week. We're going to read a book for our sight word book called Big Meg Can Help. And the sight word this week is when. So we will practice again. My students are loving playing their different instruments. They're loving arm spelling. We've just been doing a really good job with that. I'm watching a lot of their sight word knowledge increase. And I'll say until the last day of school, you can never practice your sight words too much. So continue to practice those. Okay, so that's for phonics. And then for math this week, we're going to continue our work with counting. Monday and Tuesday, we're going to do some counting work with 10 frames. I'm really loving being able to get real objects in our students' hands that are working in person. And my virtual friends are doing digital versions of the same thing, but it is really nice to actually be able to see them face to face, manipulating and moving the different counters or bears or whatever that we're working in a 10 frame and seeing them, their understanding grow a little bit by using the real object. So that's on Monday and Tuesday. On Thursday, we're going to do counting tens on the 100s chart. Parents, you're going to notice that numbers 0 through 10, we've got in the bag. Team numbers we're starting to grow with, but giving them that visual of numbers from 0 all the way to 100 and letting them see those different patterns. Sometimes they don't even make the connection. So we know how to count by tens. My students, every single one of them do it famously, but letting them see the tens on a chart that encompasses all the numbers up to 100. And kind of looking for some different patterns and things with that when we really think about it, I can predict what number's coming next, even when I'm skipping through the different tens. So that's going to be on Thursday. And then on Friday, we have been reserving this to do review games. So I provide some different games for standards that we're working on ABCA that come up that lend itself nicely. And then I love to still go back, and the students like it too. It's a nice little reprieve from them just sitting and listening to me teaching and responding to give them some independent work time. And my friends at school are going to have an opportunity to pick from a bunch of different games to play. And I like that they get to choose. It tells me a little bit too about what they're interested in learning. Some friends are really rocking out in math, and it's definitely a strong suit for them. Okay, so that is our work of the week. I think I covered everything. Like I said, it's a totally normal week. Trying to think if there's anything else I have to tell you. I am going to be sending an email probably later this week to talk about our end of the year celebration. Some things have changed in the Walker household, so we're going to have a conversation about that, and I will let you know. So be on the lookout for some emails coming from me. It's always super helpful, parents, when you respond to my email or say I got it. I know a lot of us talk through text. Sometimes we talk on the phone, but it's good to know that you're reading and checking them, and it just helps me to stay accountable and make sure that we're communicating as much as possible. Okay, so I'm going to go do my Sunday ritual, laundry, grocery shopping, all that good business. And I hope you have a wonderful day. I will see my friends in person at 9:10 tomorrow or online by 9:25. Have a great day. Mwah.